Welcome back again, everybody, to UR Supreme Toys. Today we've got another unboxing and review. This time we're going to be going over each individual G.I. Joe Ultimates Wave 1 from Super7. We're going to start off today with Duke. Now, these went up for pre-order, I believe it was around late July, early August of 2021. So these guys are late. We're going to just take a look at Duke here and see what we got. And first impressions, yet again, Super7 is just knocking it out the park with the packaging. This metallic camo box is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it, like it's just the metallic green embossed G.I. Joe logo. Got the embossed Duke dog tag right here. And this continues over. It's sort of like an ammo crate in design. It's got this embossed little X on it. Even the little lines here are embossed. All of this is embossed. This is... It's so hard to not throw these packages away. But we can't keep them. We got to open them up. Slip reveal. Okay. First impressions, the head sculpts look amazing. Now, I don't know about the rest of the figure. Certainly molded in this orange plastic that his shirt is made of, which of course appears glossy. So that problem is still prevalent with these Ultimates figures. But let's take a look at the back. Oh, this is a pretty nice little bio. Got a lot of little shots from the animated series on the box. And the little radars. And I don't know if you ever played the old Metal Gear Solid games. This sort of reminds me of that. Got a little file card here. Duke, First Sergeant. File name, Hauser Conrad S. Duke was fluent in French, German, and English when he enlisted in 1967. Graduated top of his class at Airborne School, Fort Benning. Opted for U.S. Army Special Language School. Specialized in Han Chinese and Southeast Asian dialects. Went Special Forces in 1969. Worked with tribesmen in the boonies of South Vietnam. Ran 4 different Special Forces schools. Turned down a commission in 1971. Commands by winning respect. Current assignment, acting First Sergeant, G.I. Joe team. Statement after declining commission. They tell me that an officer's job is to impel others to take the risks so that the officer survives to take the blame in the event of total catastrophe. With all due respect, sir, if that's what an officer does, I don't want any part of it. Alright, that's kind of lame. I'm a soldier. No, I loved G.I. Joe when I was a kid. I had probably 100 G.I. Joe figures growing up. But none of them were representative of the actual cartoon. And this is what these are for the first time we're actually getting action figures closely resembling the animated counterparts. And that's pretty nice. I'm glad that we're finally getting something like that. It's long overdue. So let's go ahead and pop old Duke out of this box and get a gander at what's going on. All right, okay. Got Dookie Boy here. Let's see. Now, this face sculpt is fantastic. It looks pretty much just like he should in the cartoon. He has a little bit of some scuffing marks, I guess, from being jostled around during manufacturing. But everything looks pretty good. I do not like this ab crunch. I hate this ab crunch. This ab crunch design is one of the major reasons I never started collecting Marvel Legends. I just always thought it was hideous. They are counterproductive. I feel like you don't get enough movement out of that ab crunch to justify it. I think they should have scrapped this and tried to utilize that waist bobble as much as possible, which is also kind of not that good. Not to jump directly into articulation, but he has his little bandolier here which is glued into place on the shoulder. So you're not going to be able to take that off. At least it doesn't appear to be able to come off. Yeah, I think it's glued into place. Why? I don't know. I hate it when they glue stuff like this into place. He's pretty generic as far as paint apps are concerned, as he is trying to represent the animated look. So you're not going to get a lot of paint wash or extra details or anything like that. He's going to be pretty straight, flat. That being said, the minimal amount of paint on him, it's not done very well. It's kind of sloppy on these boots. It's kind of sloppy on this buckle. It's, I don't know. It's kind of weak all the way around. He does have a watch on, which is tampoed pretty good. You can see the hands on it. That's pretty good. This emblem, the eagle logo on his chest, is tampoed on pretty cleanly. But that's about it. That's about all the paint apps you're going to get. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, he's got his head movement. He's got this waist and bobble. It's okay. I guess he can get enough to do interesting things, but his head doesn't go up and down too much. These shoulders are really tight. Like, these are stupid tight. Like, yeah, there's not a lot you can do with these shoulders. That's pretty bad. That one's tight up and down and upwards. Does have his bicep swivel, and his elbow goes in pretty much a 90. And then he's got his swivel and hinge wrist. Pretty much the standard for most Ultimates figures. Nothing new here. The leg articulation is pretty good. It's not quite a 90 there, but it's definitely a 90 here, which means you can get some good running poses. There is a shin twist right there, and of course his boots are pretty good with a rocker ankle. Now, so the articulation, I think, it's pretty solid for what he is. I think it's a missed opportunity again. I mentioned it in my Silverhawks review that they did not give these figures stands. If there was anything that was very G.I. Joe, it's that all the figures always came with stands, and I think these guys would have benefited from that. That being said, he stands pretty well for what he can do. First off, he has this awesome backpack. It's one of my favorite things about the old vintage G.I. Joe toys is everybody seemed to come with a backpack, and they're all interchangeable. And this has soft rubber straps on it. Has the shovel painted on the back, his little bedroll, and some pouches. Now, as far as getting it on the figure, this is another issue. As tight as these shoulders are, I'm not sure how viable it is that he could actually get it on easily. And these bands are soft rubber, so you're going to want to be careful. Like, it's already stretched to the max trying to do this. I don't know how they intended us to get these on. But it is possible. Just take your time to get it on there, because I'm going to tell you, those straps are going to break off if you jump the gun. Now, he also comes with 2 extra heads. He's got his G.I.JOE head, and then he's got his I'm telling everybody what to do from the office head. He could actually sit in a room and do customer support with this head. I like that. I like that they made that an alternate head and not just something that would slip over his normal head. It looks better that way. And the paint is really good on both of these heads. These heads are sculpted really cleanly, and they're painted very well, and I like them. I like them a lot. So let's pop off one head. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the peg did not break, but it pulled out of the neck. Okay, alright. I don't know how I'm going to get this out without breaking it. That is not cool. Let me see if I can pop it back in. Okay. So I don't know. As you can see, the neck is glued together, and as I'm pulling up, you can see the neck separate so that that neck peg is pulling out of the head. I don't know how to get this head off. Yeah, okay. I guess that's it. No swapping heads. Yeah, I don't know if I might have to return him. Well, let's continue. He comes with a helmet. I like the helmet. Does it fit over his giant dome head? It does. It fits over pretty good. And looks pretty good. That actually looks really nice. I'm very disappointed in that neck. And of course he comes with 2 guns. He comes with this green machine gun. And then he comes with this gray machine gun. Alright, he's missing one thing, which I think should have been a necessity with these figures. Is watching the original cartoon, one of the best scenes in every episode was when G.I. Joe and Cobra would have their big laser fights. And you'd see red and blue lasers shooting all over the place. These should have come with blue laser attachments. Because it would have looked so much better. You could have just, oh yeah, you were in the cartoon. Everybody would have displayed these guys with their laser effects. I'm just telling you. So, missed opportunity. I don't know why they didn't do that. Comes with a walkie-talkie, which was pretty much what you needed. Every kid when I was growing up back in the day had a toy walkie-talkie. And he comes with these binoculars with a strap. Of course, the strap is a solid plastic, so it's going to look weird when he's trying to look through them because the strap's just always going to be straight out. He's got 2 gripping hands for, I guess, if he wants to hold the binoculars or the walkie-talkie. He's got a Go Joe finger. He has 2 trigger fingers. I'm glad they gave him 2. And then he's got a halt hand. Halt! In the name of Joe. And of course 2 fists in the package. And we're not going to be using his fists at all. The watch is a separate piece. That's good. So you can fix it to where he can look at his time. It does not fit over the wrist very well at all. Just be careful when you take the hands off because this is going to pop off and fly somewhere. We'll give him this hand. This is sort of like a holding the butt of the rifle and binocular hand. And then of course we'll give him his trigger finger on this side. I'm kind of iffy about the quality of these hands. And let's see, these rifle handles are pretty big. Let's see if I can hold it pretty good. It goes in pretty well. It's not too bad. And, can he? Yep. He can get just enough movement to hold the other end of the gun if he's just standing there. So you can have him holding a gun, sort of. Let's try the bigger rifle because the green one looks nice, but it's not long enough, I don't think. The guns don't have too bad of a problem going in to the trigger hands. And of course, now he can really grip it. Have him sneaking into Cobra territory. I think he looks great. I think the colors are just about perfect for what he is. The posability is just enough for limited shelf space. I don't think he looks bad. He has a few minor issues. The biggest one is that neck peg popping out. I don't know why it wants to do that. It kind of upsets me because I wanted to put the G.I.JOE head on, but that neck is inexcusable. The peg just won't stay in the neck. I hope that's not a prevalent run case issue with the rest of the figures. I feel like the neck peg, if you look inside here, that hole is excessively deep. It is very deep, and I feel like that peg is just so far in the head that all that pressure when you go to remove it is in that neck, because it's like just the ball of it's in the neck. Let's break him back down and see if there's any issues. No real issues here. Make sure that this helmet, yeah, that's what I was wanting to see. Be careful putting that helmet on. As you can see, there's a little bit of green paint rub on the side of the hair just from me putting that helmet on once. That's annoying. Kind of makes you wonder why paint the inside of it at all. It is what it is. You're gonna get what you get. He's even got some of it on his ear. Let's see if I can get this backpack off without tearing it up. It was quite the trouble getting it on. I wish his arms popped out of the socket. That would make it a lot easier. Trying not to go too fast with it. Okay. Let's take a look at this. As you can see, these straps are glued into place. That glue will break off and tear if you're not careful or you put too much stress and pull on this. These are very soft, whereas the rest of the backpack is pretty firm. So there are a few things that you need to watch out for with this figure. Firstly, make sure you don't lose this watch when you're swapping out hands. Secondly, I don't know if it's going to be a prevalent issue, but that neck peg just popped right out of the neck. I can't even swap heads. Thirdly, this strap is very flimsy. You don't want to tear this. This is going to put green rub marks on the hair and head if you swap it out regularly. So maybe get a small piece of tissue and line the inside of it and push it on so that it does not transfer to the head. I feel like he should have came with some laser blast. I feel like this ab crunch could have been negated. I feel like he could have came with a couple more weapons. The 2 rifles are fine, but maybe a machete or something like that. I think the hands are adequate. I feel like sometimes they give us too many extra hands for these figures. In this case, I think it's just the right amount of hands. Paint apps are a little bit sloppy. This is a very middle of the road figure. If it wasn't for that head sculpt, this figure would be... But that head sculpt is really fantastic. So it kind of brings the whole piece together and makes it look really good. And I hope that continues through the rest of the line. I think it's acceptable. Do I believe it was worth the price point that we paid? Nah, at the time, not exactly. This has been a unboxing and review of the G.I. Joe Ultimates Wave 1 Duke from Super7. And I am UR Supreme Toys. Thank you for watching.